I was dealing with severe nausea most of last year, so I just couldn't make the trip out here. I even got on the freeway a couple times and just had to turn back. So making it to the airport here at the parking lot is a big deal. All right, I checked in. One more step closer to getting on the plane. Sweet, past security. I know it's probably getting a little bit annoying that I'm recording every little bit of the check-in process, but last year I couldn't do it, so to me it's a big deal that I'm able to be here this year and do it and make this trip happen. 3 times I didn't get on the flight. I didn't make it to Utah to see my doctors. Alright guys, made it up to Utah. So the car rental place messed up and I ended up with this pickup truck. I've never driven a pickup truck before, so it's going to be a fun trip. Time for the main event, Monday morning here at the University of Utah Medical Center to meet with my research doctors.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boy.
What's up? It's Jeffrey Lynn. Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I'm back at home in LA now. It's actually been 2 weeks since my Utah medical trip. I've just been busy doing some family stuff, so I haven't had a chance to finish this Utah medical trip update video. But as a lot of you guys pointed out, I am doing much better, and my doctors felt that way, so there's actually not a whole lot of updating to do. So I thought I'd talk about all of the medications I'm using and just do a quick summary about that, because it's been a while since I did a full rundown of the medications and the treatments that I do. Usually I do a video about each individual treatment and diving deeper into those, so I'll just do a comprehensive overview of what I'm doing for my severe eczema, my severe allergies, and asthma. The foundation, what's been keeping me doing well for the last 11 years has been the immunosuppressant Cyclosporine. And if you go through my YouTube videos, you'll see I've tried all of the major immunosuppressants such as Celcept and methotrexate and Imuran. So all these general immunosuppressants, including Cyclosporine, help calm the inflammations that happen because of all our immune-related diseases, including eczema and allergies and asthma. Asthma is the inflammation of the lungs and the airways, and skin, you would have inflammation and reactions of the skin and layers underneath. And allergies, you have inflammation all over the body, inside, even sometimes in your nervous system. So a general immunosuppressant is like a broad hammer that strikes down all of these things instead of targeting each individual symptom and problem. But immunosuppressants do have a lot of negative side effects. They're very toxic, so they do damage your liver and kidneys. Cyclosporine also increases my blood pressure and makes me depressed. So it has not been a fun 11 years, but it cleared away most of my leaky, yellow, nasty, wet eczema, allowed me to sleep, allowed me to rest. So overall, it's positive. So usually immunosuppressants like these are only used for like 3 months to maybe a year because they are so toxic. So for the past 11 years, I've been trying to get off of Cyclosporine, which is why I try so many of the other treatments, including other immunosuppressants as well as biologics, mAbs, such as Dulera, Nucala, omalizumab, and Dupixent, Dupilumab. So that's why I've been taking so many risks to try those medications, is because I felt like the risk of using immunosuppressants for too long is even greater. However, I've been able to use cyclosporine for so long because I use about half the dose that's recommended for my body weight. And that's a recurring theme with how I use medications for myself, is I know there aren't cures for eczema and the severe allergies that I have, so I'm not gonna use a full dose and try to get over it. A lot of people just want their disease or symptoms to be over, and they just use as much medications as possible to try to get over that. But with chronic diseases like these, it's more of a marathon, and so try to use as little medication as possible while still getting an effect, so that I can last longer and hopefully survive till a day when a real cure is available, and then go all in on that. But I don't want to go all in on any medication that's toxic and more likely to destroy my body than be a cure. And obviously the thing that's helping the most and that I post the most videos about is Dupixent. It was supposed to be a cure for eczema. It's not quite that, but it is still a miracle drug. My skin feels the best that it's ever been, and it feels much better than any other eczema treatment or ointment can ever do, because on Dupixent your skin does become natural, normal. It's not just medications covering up the eczema, it's actually the skin becoming normal. So why do I still use cyclosporine if Dupixent is working so well? Cyclosporine now is mostly for the asthma and allergies, since again I'm allergic to literally everything on the planet, so I need cyclosporine to lower my immune responses to everything on the planet, so that I'm able to go outside and do things without being triggered, without having everything in the world triggering an anaphylactic allergic reaction. But Dupixent is holding its own and doing all the healing for the eczema, and it's also helping my asthma a bit. It's not as effective for asthma, so that's why I still need the cyclosporine. But the problem with still having to depend on cyclosporine for allergies and asthma is I don't know fully how well Dupixent would work on its own, because if I stop cyclosporine, my allergies would overwhelm me, and I would die pretty soon from just being triggered by one or millions of reactions. So I've never had just Dupixent on its own, so I don't know how well Dupixent will work for me, because I know cyclosporine also calms down the eczema and skin inflammations a bit. So the skin that you see now is a mixture of the improvements from Dupixent and some from cyclosporine. All right, the next set of medications deal with mast cells, which produces the histamines that causes the inflammations and the allergic reactions. The first thing that's helped a lot is Cromolyn, which is a mast cell stabilizer. Mast cells produce the histamines that cause the inflammations, whether if it's on your skin for hives and breakouts, or the inflammation in my lungs for the asthma, and even inflammations in your gut when you have digestive problems and various other stomach gut issues. Even inflammations in the brain could be caused by mast cells and histamines. So Cromolyn stabilizes the mast cells, makes it more normal, so that you're just not overreacting to triggers in the environment. When I first started Cromolyn a couple of years ago, it didn't work. And then my doctors came back to it again when I was feeling a bit better. And they really pushed me to try it again, and I'm really grateful they did, because the second time I tried Cromolyn, it allowed me to eat a lot more foods, so my allergic reactions were a little bit lower. I still reacted to them, but I could at least tolerate the foods, and my asthma got better, so it calm down the inflammations in my lungs and airways, and even my eyesight got better. So apparently there were some inflammations in my eye or sinuses surrounding the eyes that was causing my vision to be not as good as it could be. So Cromolyn helped with all that, and I still take the full dose several years later. Take it every day. They're little vials like this that you add to water, and you take it before each meal. So still take this every day. Next, we have the histamines. We'll go with the H1 histamines first. H1 histamines are what you typically think of as with, sneezing, runny nose, itchy eyes, that kind of allergic reaction, the springtime kind of allergic reaction. The first one I use every day is cetirizine, which is the generic for Zyrtec. And recently I've added fexofenadine, which is the generic for Allegra. And adding fexofenadine has been another game changer that's helped improve my condition. If you remember, most of last year I was having severe nausea problems, and somehow I figured out that it was because of my sinuses being swollen and just causing problems with my inner ear, which is how your body balances. So I tried a whole bunch of other antihistamines, and Allegra, fexofenadine, was able to calm that down a lot, and it's also helped my asthma a lot. So using Zyrtec, cetirizine, in combination with fexofenadine, Allegra, has been a big game changer for me at the end of last year into this year. All right, moving on to H2 antihistamines, which you typically think of as acid controllers. The one I still take every day is famotidine, which is Pepcid. And these will block the histamines that's more common in your gut, but also in your skin and some other places. So I still take this every day. So the newest medication I've added to my treatment regimen is something called low-dose Naltrexone, which is just a very low dose of the medication Naltrexone. Oddly enough, it doesn't work the same way as when you use a regular higher dose of Naltrexone. So I'll do a separate video on why it's working and how it's working. I'm still in the phase of testing it. It's been about 3 weeks since I've started testing it, but I've had quite amazing results. Mentally, I'm a lot clearer, so all the depression and the brain fog that cyclosporine causes, that's gone. And if you look at my recent videos, I think you can just feel the energy that I can put out versus the earlier ones where I'm a zombie and I feel like I'm going to die. What the low-dose Naltrexone is really good at is immune and autoimmune related inflammations, which I have a ton of. So thanks to a big shout out to Melissa, my good friend on Instagram, who actually found me through my YouTube channel. She is also a fellow chronic illness sufferer, and she stumbled upon the research for low-dose Naltrexone, and seems quite amazing. And since starting it, my food allergies have dropped a lot. I've been able to eat chicken without flaring up, where usually if I eat chicken, I'll flare for 3 weeks. And obviously there are tons and tons of other foods and things that I'm allergic to, but just tried it with chicken and rice, and Naltrexone is holding its own. There's a lot to go into about low-dose Naltrexone. I don't want to jump the gun on it and tell you guys more than I'm ready to share after having tested everything on my own body first. So I'll do a separate video in a couple weeks. Moving on to topical ointments, as I mentioned in the bathing video, because of Dupixent, I don't have to use much, if any, of these topical steroids anymore. But occasionally there are flare-ups because I am still reacting to literally everything in the world. So it's not that Dupixent isn't working, it's just my body keeps on getting attacked. So When I do get a flare-up, the common Desonide is good for the face, which is what I use. Triamcinolone is common for the body. It's a stronger one for the body, but it's not the strongest. And Fluocinonide is the strongest for the body. Do not use this on the face, and use as little bit of it as possible. You don't want any topical steroid withdrawal. But also with this, just like with the cyclosporine, I use a tiny bit because I know how much steroids can damage my skin. So I use as little bit of it as possible, even if there's still some redness and rashes. I'm okay with having a little bit of discomfort instead of having the topical steroids backfire and destroy my skin with topical steroid withdrawal. So you just gotta find that balance, but I would say be okay with taking a little bit more of discomfort so that the medications don't destroy you. As far as skin creams go, my favorite is CeraVe for the daytime. I use this on my body, on my face. It's not as thick as Vanicream, which I use after bathing because I already have a lot of moisture on the body. Mixing in a thicker cream is good for sealing in the moisture from the bath. For asthma treatments, Dulera steroid inhalers for preventive. I use this twice a day. And if I'm really having a bad asthma attack, Albuterol nebulizers, and I also add a bit of Ipratropium. I do 1 Albuterol vial with 1 Ipratropium vial for each breathing treatment with the nebulizer machine pump. So yeah, that's all the medications I'm doing now. Not too bad, right? Yeah, it's a big table full of medications that I have right here, but you gotta look at it sort of like a portfolio. You gotta see like what's safe and what's risky. And I feel like over the years, I've slowly shifted things to being safer and that I can use longer without damaging my body again. So I'm thinking of this as a marathon. I'm not trying to cure myself with using a ton of any one medication. I'm trying to minimize the symptoms with as few side effects as possible so that I can last longer and wait till a day when a real cure comes out. And that strategy has worked really good for me so far. I've waited 36 years, all my life, for Dupixent to come out, and it finally has, and it is a big game changer. It has not just healed my skin, but also healed my tendonitis and a lot of the inflammation. And people were asking me about my brain fog, so Dupixent has helped clear up my mind a bit too. I don't know if Dupixent is specifically designed to do all those things, or if just fixing my eczema, because I did have full eczema head to toe. The skin is the biggest organ, and it just requires so much energy for you to fight and for you to peel off all the nutrients from the eczema and evaporate moisture from your skin, that it is exhausting and your body will shut down. So once Dupixent healed the skin and my body like rebooted, I feel like a lot of the other systems in my body just started healing itself. And I don't know if it's directly because of Dupixent or just because my body finally has the resources and the energy to fix these other systems in my body. So hope that was helpful. I'm getting ready to head out to the Netherlands again, sort of my therapeutic getaway from the LA smog and stuff. Hopefully in the next video will be from Europe. So I need to put on some medical signs for my breathing mask so people don't think I do graffiti or something, because that's usually what people think, or that I'm a construction worker. I want to let them know that I'm wearing it because I am feeling pretty sick and they really need to be careful around me. So here we go with the, let's see how this works. Ta-da! All All right, if everything goes well, see you guys in Europe.